Hello again, my friends. This is another Astrological Voyages show, and we are going to talk about a very important information and a very important date, which I think is fascinating to speak about. There is a stellium of planets on the 18th of March 2020. We're going to have Mars, Moon, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. All of them, they are going to be in the third decade of Aquarius, which is, I think, really important. It is going to bring a lot of tensions and a lot of problems. Some of the people are, let's say, a little afraid, and some other may feel that all of this energy is going to bring some havoc. On the other hand, of course, this is always a stellium that is going to bring some conflicts and some problems. Of course, we have some very heavy planetary influences and energies right now on the third decade of Capricorn. We know that the third decade of Capricorn has to do with problems with health and problems with food and problems with quality of what we eat. Usually, eclipses on the third decade of Capricorn also bring problems with royalties, and also we may have some problems with money matters. And of course, the situation is not really good. We already know that we have these problems with the virus, with the coronavirus. Also, we have all these problems with the financial situation. We have also problems on keeping the states and the countries, their borders safe. So this is a really difficult situation, a really difficult period of time. And I think that the most and the biggest problematic situation is going to be around the 18th of March 2020, which is, I think, is the most problematic situation for the next months. If you don't know exactly what happens, we are going to have this stellium on the third decade, and that means, of course, severe problems in our financial situation, not just that. So I think we need to really look closer to what we could expect. First of all, in United States, I think you are going to have some important problems around your own constitution, also about the way your democracy is working, or perhaps in America you may have problems with the procedures you are following, and of course in the next days you are going to have some problems with the virus too. But this is not an astrological prediction, this is how things are going to work no matter what. But I think in United States is the people, they're going to feel some fear and some problems in their everyday life, and you may feel sometimes that cannot feel free and that you are not really well. On the other hand, all of these critical days around the 18th of March for USA, I think, is going also to affect the president's natal chart, and we are going to have some problems in your everyday life, especially in how your health system is working. So I think for United States, Canada, and Mexico, countries that belong to the North America, you are going to have some problems in how you work in your life and how you communicate as societies, and also problems with your constitution. On the other hand, in Europe, if we look closer on these planetary alignments around the 18th of March, we are going to see that all of the Western Europe is being affected, and a lot of planetary situations are going to make the people again being in fear. And I think this is going to be like a very critical moment for how we understand humanity, how we understand the word, and how we really can try to help other people, because the idea of being human is going to be criticized by our own actions. Again, the most problematic situation, it is going to be around Italy, because the sun is very close to the exact moment the sun is making a conjunction, moon, I'm sorry, is making a conjunction with the rest of the chart. If we look exactly, I will try to show you as a chart. Wait a moment. The moment that moon is going to be very exact with Pluto, I think is the most critical era, because Saturn, Mars and Jupiter are having the midpoint around the 25th degree of Capricorn. So we are going to have Mars in the 21st of Capricorn, Jupiter in the 22nd of Capricorn, Pluto in the 25th, with Moon having in conjunction. And at the last degree, we're going to have Saturn. And at the same time, Sun is going to have an sextile with Saturn, while we were going to have an exact square with the North Node and Chiron, which is, I think, also very important. I'm going to show you right now the chart which I'm talking right now to you, which is, I think, really important. Let me just okay, I think this is good. This is the chart. Oh yes, this is the chart. So if you can see, this is for Athens, but the date is going to be on the 20th of March. We are having all of this stellium in the third decanate of Capricorn, and this is going to be really strong. We are having Sun and Saturn having around 7 degrees distance. This means that around 24th and a half there is the midpoint of Mars and Saturn, and exactly on the midpoint of Mars and Saturn we are going to find Moon and Pluto, and also we are going to have the North Node forming a square with Chiron. And of course, Saturn and the Sun are on anaretic degrees. That means that Saturn is almost going to form the square with Uranus, that he is in the 4th degree of Taurus. I think that this is a really difficult time, and Mercury is already in Pisces, which is also a very bad sign for him. He is not in a very good situation right now. And also close to what we say in Neptune, it is the previous full moon that happened today. So looking on this chart, it's for me very important that it's going to bring some severe conflicts to people. And if you look at the chart, we have two countries that are hugely affected by this chart. The first one is the region of Australia, which is going to have Saturn, Moon, Pluto, Mars, all of it around the ascendant and descendant. And also Sun and Chiron is going to be on the midheaven, and Neptune also on the IC, not the midheaven, I'm sorry. On the IC also, Neptune is going to be very close to the IC in Australia. On the other hand, if you look at Canada, United States and Mexico, we are also going to have some problems around this region, which is, I think, really important. I would like to show you right now what I'm saying. Wait for a moment to choose a proper window in order to look what I'm saying. I'm sorry for taking from your time. Wait a moment. Okay, this is the chart I want to talk with you. So looking at this chart, you can see all of these planets, Saturn, Moon, Pluto, Jupiter and Mars being on the midheaven and affecting the central US states and also Mexico and Canada. They are going to be hugely affected by this moment of the planets being all in the third decade in Capricorn. And also you can see that planetary positions in the IC, they are going to be in India, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, and Tajikistan, in all these countries around Central Asia. Also, looking at this chart, you can look closely that we are going to have problems around Neptune being on descendant because this is the region of Cyprus. I think we are going to have again crisis on the Eastern Mediterranean, and of course, if we look at Neptune being on the descendant, also is going to affect the Pacific, the ascendant. I'm sorry. So I strongly believe that all of these planetary alignments is about a crisis in our financial system, but it's not just about it. I think that, of course, coronavirus is going to affect the way we deal with our money matters, and all of the stock exchanges are going to have this pressure because of that. But I think that other reasons also are going to affect the financial situation and how the stock exchanges are going to react in the next days. And the main problem is that usually money and the stock exchanges have to do with psychology. And if the psychology of a country and of the people is not good, that means also that it's going to be affected the financial situation of the states, and not just of the states, but also of the whole world, especially countries like mine, Greece, that will just get out from crisis, and other nations that do not have a very stable financial situation, they are going to feel this threat of going backwards. But also we are going to have some severe and hostile actions from countries. We've seen that already from for example, from the Turkish border. We can see that in Syria, we can see that also in the Balkans and in Iran. So we are going to look that the war situation is going to get worse, and there is going to be severe problems also with countries like Russia and the things that happen in the Middle East. So this is a period that is going to be really turbulent. I don't believe that this is going to be, of course, the end of the world, but I strongly believe that this is going to be a period that we're going to feel the fear. In my previous Astrological Voyages shows, I talked that the main problem with Saturn-Pluto conjunction is that we are going to feel that we are in some kind of a very bad situation, and the fear is going to conquer us. I think that this is a problem that, if we look carefully, coronavirus is not deadly. It's just like a flu, or a little more, let's say, dangerous than a flu. But we are overreacting, and we are really afraid of what is going to happen. And I think that this is about how we really try to understand, or how we try to use our word and how we communicate with others. And I think that this is really important, because we usually try to convince ourselves that the worst is going to happen, but it is not. It is not going to happen the worst. It's something that we can deal with, and it's something that we can change without being in fear. So I think that it is very important to look carefully on our own ways of thinking, and how we react to others, people, emotions and information, because sometimes we may have some huge misinformation from other people, or even from the states, or even from the countries we live in. And that is, I think, the biggest problem, especially with Mercury being in Pisces, the state of being misinformed and taking action, not because I am completely well informed, but because I believe things that they are not the truth. That also is very important in our personal relationships. Sometimes we may feel that something bad may happen, and this is going to bring some severe problems, and this is going to be really difficult for us. And I think this is the main problem of not taking very seriously things, and try also to have some fun. Of course, we have to follow the rules of every health system. We live in a country, but also we need not to panic, and we need to look carefully what really happens in our life. I think that it is very important with this stellium of planets in Capricorn to understand that the real problem is about fear and about some specific people that they want to take the control. And this is, I think, the biggest problem, that some people want to bring havoc and perhaps have the control in their lives. And I think this is the most important thing, that we need to look carefully what we want from our lives and how we can change things and how we can feel safer but without losing our freedom, because the main problem is that in order not to have something in our life that is not good, we may accept to lose some of our freedoms, and this is something we should look very carefully. And of course, on the other hand, this stellium in Capricorn on the third decanate is going to bring some problems in your everyday life, especially if you have planets in the third decanate of Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So don't just look your sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and of course your ascendant or your midheaven. If you have planets around these degrees from the 20 to 29th of these four signs, you should be more careful and look what really happens. And perhaps if you're an Aries, you may have some problems in your financial situation that is correlated with your career. If you're a Cancer, probably you are having a problem with your personal relationships and how you communicate with the others, your serious other people. And then if you are a Libra, you may have problems in your house and how you deal with your family. Finally, if you are a Capricorn, that means a problem that has to do with your own life and how you communicate with the others and how you understand yourself and how you communicate with the others. I think this is really important. And finally, what I found really fascinating with this stellium is that everyone should look carefully the other one, the people that we love, our families, our loved ones, our communities. It is how we respect and we want to look carefully to the people we love, and we don't want others to have problems. I think this is the biggest problem and the biggest situation that we should look in our life. Finally, I think that we should always be careful with some severe ecological disasters like the ones we had in Australia. I strongly believe that this stellium and those planetary cycles that happen in the third decanate of Capricorn has to do with severe ecological disasters. So we have to look also what happens to the environment, and we should look carefully to what we are doing to the environment. No one expected the severe devastation of the fires that happened to the forests of Australia. At the same time, we have also to look carefully of what is really happened in our neighborhood. So I think that the next year till the end of November 2020 is about how serious we are with others, but also how much respectful and how much in communication we are with our environment and with our loved ones and with the society. Because Capricorn is a society sign, has to do with society development, has to do with how we understand and correlate with other people, which is, I think, the most important. So we need to be really careful and we need to be really serious on what happens really in our lives. That's what I wanted to discuss with you. If you have any planets around those degrees, be free and write your question or write your own ways of thinking of what this stellium in the third decanate of Capricorn is going to bring. I would like also to hear from your feedback. If you want, you can like us and also share this video. And we are going to be together again in the next Astrological Voyages, so the next Monday, again 1 a.m. for Greece, but 5 I think p.m. for Central United States, Central States. I hope you have a great day, night, or whatever time you have in your country. And don't forget to love always your beloved ones because they are the most important thing in your life. Have a nice day there. Bye bye.